Hello, and welcome to A VO's Journey. My name is Anthony Pica, and this show is all about helping the new and upcoming voiceover artists grow their business, sidestep all the crazy things that I seem to step on. It is Friday. That's right, Friday, January 6th. I'm super excited to be talking to you today about 5 tips for how you can get your first job on Fiverr. As you know, I love Fiverr. I've been on Fiverr for many, many years, and I've made hundreds of thousands of dollars on that platform, and it really does feel like home to me. And, I work with a lot of new people in the voiceover business from A VO's Journey Elite Academy, and, one of the biggest questions is, how do I get my first job? So, Fiverr Fridays, as I like them, to say, we're going to talk about 5 tips. And, these can be used for any gig on Fiverr. It's not just voiceover. You can use these for copywriting or resume building or logo making or any business service, but we're talking specifically about voiceover, but generally these 5 tips can be used for anything. So let's go ahead and dive into these, okay? All right, so first, you've got to build a strong profile. All right, your profile is your storefront, if you will. It's what people see. All right, so you've got to have a great thumbnail. All right, this is so important. A great thumbnail, a picture of yourself with a little bit of a description of what you're doing. Okay, well-written copy. That's professional, informative. Make sure that all of your FAQs are filled out. If you're doing packages, that all of your packages are filled out, and any extras that you offer are available. Make sure that your profile description, as well as your gig description for the different gigs you have, everything is filled out. I'm a big advocate for filling everything you can out on that platform. Any nook and cranny, don't leave any extra. Like, for example, there are 10 FAQs that Fiverr allows you to have. Fill out all 10. Don't fill out just 3. You know what I mean? And if you don't know what FAQs what to fill out, you look at what you're offering and backtrack, reverse engineer. What would people ask? If you're offering script proofreading, you know what I mean, or something like that. Well, what script proofreading do you offer? Do you offer handwritten, like you're going to actually go in there and change the script, and give it back to them? Or are you just going to change it as you record? You need to identify those things, because people will ask, what are commercial and broadcast rights? What are, do you have a live directed session? What time zone are you in? Do you offer background music? Do you split files? All these things that, do you do time synced audio? You need to fill all those out, every part of it, okay? And it needs to look as professional as possible. All right, number 2, create a portfolio of work that you can put up on your Fiverr account. For most people just starting out, you have no work. You've done nothing, right? You haven't worked with anybody yet. So how can you have a portfolio of work? Well, this is where I say, when you first get started, the train is hard. It's hard to get started. So what you need to do is you need to start to create your own portfolio of work through examples that you're doing. So a perfect example for this is I use Filmora, and basically I go and I find videos, and I switch out the music, and I add my own voiceover to it. I change the music, I mix it, crop some of the video here or there, whatever. I create a video. All right, a video demo. But then I also can just create a DIY demo. And if you don't know how to do that, you need to learn, which we're going to talk about in the third step here. But, this is creating a portfolio, a body of work that you can display. All right, because Fiverr allows you to have 1 video, 3 MP3 files, as well as 3 profile pictures, and then they allow you to also have PDF files. Okay, and you can use all of those. Use them. If somebody's coming on to hire you to do work, the more professional you are, the more you show that you have to offer, right? The more likely someone's going to be like, wow, this person really takes this serious, and I'm going to work with them. Okay, so create a portfolio of work. You're going to have to create it from scratch when you first start. Which brings me to number 3. All right, get some training and network with artists, other people in your industry that know what they're doing and can help you learn. All right. So, of course, I'm going to talk about Avila's Journey Elite Academy because this is what we do. We help people, we teach voice actors how to not only perform, but build their business with Fiverr, with Upwork, with all these other platforms. But, we're talking about Fiverr today. So you've got to get with the group. And whether it's the academy or not, find some people, find a coach, find an academy, somewhere where you can, join that's going to help you do these things. Because like in number 2, where I'm like, you got to create a portfolio of work. You're like, look, I'm just starting. I have no idea how to even create, how to create a demo, my own demo, right? And I can't, afford $2,000 or $3,000 to buy a demo, and you shouldn't when you're first starting. All right. You need to be able to create your own because you need to create a bunch. So you need to join somewhere. You need to network with people, get some training that is going to help you learn these things so you can speed up. Remember, we pay for training, we pay for coaching, so that we reduce the amount of time that it takes us to succeed and to get further along in our journey. Okay, that's the point of this. And networking with people, you're going to also see what they're doing, and you can imitate that, copy that, and then you can see what they're not doing so you don't make those mistakes. So again, very important. Number 3, get training and network with other artists in your industry. All right, number 4. You need to offer competitive prices. So much has been said about Fiverr throughout the years. And as we've grown with Fiverr now, I think we're in 2023. So Fiverr's, what is this? It's like 12 or 13 years, something like that. Maybe I'm not quite sure how long Fiverr's been around now, somewhere around there. And, but the pricing has changed so much. There are people who are charging very high prices now, hundreds of dollars for 50 words, or there are people who are still charging $5 for 50 or 100 words. Okay. But what I talk about competitive prices is it's important for you to price your work how you want to price it and how you feel, your business can deliver a file at this moment. However, just be aware that you need to pay attention to what other people are charging on Fiverr so that you're not, overcharging or undercharging or whatever. You need to look at the competitive landscape and charge accordingly. So here's a perfect example. And I'm not saying you do this, but there are many super seller, top rated sellers that charge between $10 to $20 for 100 words. So if you're just starting out, right, you don't have any reviews, you don't have any, I guess you could say you don't have any built-in trust yet, okay? And you go in and you start charging, $100, $200. Now, again, let me point out, this is your business. You charge whatever you want, and you can charge that on Fiverr. But on Fiverr, right, you've got to stay competitive. So it might not be the best place for you to charge that exorbitant amount of money starting out if you want to get work on Fiverr. Okay, because that's not how that platform works. And in the competitive nature of everyone else and what they're charging, you need to stay competitive. So pay attention and offer competitive pricing. Okay. By the way, your pricing doesn't have to always stay the same. The more work you do, the more reviews you get, the more levels you go up, you can raise your prices. I always say, by the way, when you raise prices, always raise in $5 increments. Don't raise more than that, but $5 increments are a good way to raise them. Okay, number 5. This is really important, especially when you're just starting out, and this can tank your business. Respond promptly to inquiries. There's so many reasons for this. I'm going to go over a couple of them. One of the biggest reasons, of course, is Fiverr tracks this, and they will give you a boost if you respond quickly, or they will, not give you a boost and actually penalize your account if you don't respond quickly. In their mind, responding under an hour is the appropriate time. If you don't respond within an hour, okay, your stats on response time decrease. Now, the problem that so many of us have, all of us have, is like, what do you do when you're sleeping at 2 or 3 in the morning and someone from a different part of the world contacts you and you don't see it until, 6, 7, 8 in the morning? That is just, it is what it is. You can't change that, but you can do your best to, communicate with, make sure you're doing your best to answer during the day, the times that you are awake. Okay. And it's very simple to fix that, to help that, because, you can have someone message you and you can message them back, you know what I mean? And it will fix it immediately. And it is a running tab, meaning so like it will over time, go away anyways. And I think it's like 60 days. But here's the thing. Here's another thing I want to say. I posted that video yesterday about AI. Okay. And, again, we need to be on top of our game. So the longer we take to do things, the more difficult we are to work with. Okay. The more it pushes people to look for solutions that they don't have to deal with all of this. So I'm not saying being unreasonable here with, you have to sit there with your blood, your eyes are like, I will never look away from my phone. I'm not saying do that. I'm just saying, be cognizant, try to be quick. As we had at our conference, Brent Allen Hagel came and spoke, and of course he runs the studio out in LA, the voice trailer artist out in LA, and just very successful voice actor, extremely successful voice actor in his own right with the trailers and Discovery Channel and all this stuff. But also, he talks about his life with our conference, and he talked about how, he does everything he can to be quick as fast as he can, to the point where he will go to the studio, he will do things, he will record takes for things, auditions, previews, things that he will do, and he will just go and do it just so because he's on call. And I think that's what we have to look at it too, so that we don't miss. I mean, we live in an entertainment world where people don't want to wait. So, just take that in consideration. All right. So respond promptly to inquiries. When the client reaches out to you, respond to them. All right. And be professional, be nice. Act like you do want the business, even if, they're asking you something outrageous. Just politely, you can politely say no, thank you. You know what I mean? You don't have to argue with people. Just respond. All right, listen, I hope that these 5 tips have helped. There's so many more. Check out the link below to a VO's Journey Elite Academy. We teach this stuff. We help you through it. Whether you're just starting out, you don't even have a studio up, or whether you've been doing this for a while and you want to grow and, work on your acting, come check out our script workout groups and things like that. Check out the link below. We have a deal right now that you can try out the first month for 50% off. So we'd love to have you. But listen, I hope you have a great weekend. We're done with the first week in January. It's crazy. It's coming to an end. Time's already flying. It's the 6th. So the end of next week, right, it'll be halfway through January. So it's wild. But thank you guys so much for watching. You have a wonderful weekend. Talk to you soon. Goodbye.